And good afternoon. If it's one word that says it, it's brr. Brr, it's cold out there. Hello, everybody. Mike Young here with the head coach of the Texans, Ronnie Hearne. And this is the First Financial Bank, Ronnie Hearne Show at First Financial Bank here in Lucas, Stephenville. As we talk everything Texans basketball, and this is the postseason edition. And that's always good to say that. But, Coach, let's get right to it. Not what you wanted to see in Commerce on Saturday.
Definitely not. They were ready to play. Evidently, we weren't ready to play. And I thought Commerce really played well, deserved to win that game. We've said this before, they're a very, very talented team. It's pretty obvious to see. They got big, strong, quick post players, and they play really hard. They got some quick guards, and they're shooting the ball pretty well right now. They knocked down some threes on us. We made a great comeback. That's one thing we can say for our team. We're never going to quit. And I guess we just ran out of time. I guess that's the best way to say it. I thought early in the game we took some shots we shouldn't have taken. We didn't have a lot of patience on the offensive end. We missed layups. We missed free throws.
Can't do that.
And that was a big difference in the game. I think we were, 12 down at halftime. We came out the second half, kind of the same MO as the beginning of the game. We took a couple bad shots early in the second half, made a turnover. They went down, got an unguarded layup, so we got in a deeper hole. And then we kind of settled down a little bit and started playing well. There at the end, our press really bothered them. And, we like to press a little bit early in the game, especially off of made free throws, but you got to make them before you can, before you can get your press set up. So that didn't work too well. We didn't show out and get over the top of the on-ball screens, and that's what they like to do. So we didn't take away the things that they like to do, and that's what you need to do. And then at the end of a game, your press is kind of a desperation mode at the end of a game, and our press worked better at the end of the game. We were able to get into it, and we were getting into it off made free throws and made baskets, and so we were trying to get into it every possession that we could. And that game's behind us, and like you said, this is the postseason, and we get a chance to play them again on Wednesday.
That's the beauty of what we do here. And falling behind by 18, that's always asking for trouble. We agree to that. Number of good things happened in the second half, and Kiara Wright led the comeback, and he got it down to 3 points. You were down by 18 for a while, and he got down to 3. And she only had 3 points and 7 rebounds at the end of the first half. She finished with 22 points, 17 rebounds, 56 career double-double. She took the game over and almost got you over the hump.
She did, and I thought Kathy Thomas was a big reason we made that comeback. She got some steals on the press, made a three, and I thought she was a big part of that. Our other starting post, Shanae, had 10 points and 10 rebounds. She had a double-double. So that was good. Kathy had 11 points. Brianna had 8 points. We just, I thought Ipaku had a good game. And, she only played 8 minutes, and she had 4 points and 4 rebounds. That's pretty productive for 8 minutes. And the thing about Pac, she doesn't have that deer in the headlight look when you put her in the game. We feel like some of our players, some nights we got the deer in the headlight look, and we're too tentative and not playing aggressive. And that's one thing about Ipaku, she brings it every day. This morning we practiced from 7:45 till almost 10 o'clock, and Ipaku has a good practice every day. And when you do that every day, you get in the game, you're going to be prepared to play. And so Wednesday we got to have everybody show up.
Oh, absolutely, everybody. Absolutely, everybody. That's for dead sure. Hopefully the three-point shooting will be back too, because it seems like one game you're really on, and the next day you're really off, and it was really off in Commerce.
Well, and one thing about Commerce, they're really out there on you. Their guards are athletic enough,
True.
And on the screens they do a good job getting in the footsteps and getting out there, and they didn't give us too many open looks from the three-point line, and consequently, we ended up 2 for 10.
Yeah. Well, many layups, like you mentioned, were missed in this game, and that's going to kill you. 14 missed foul shots, too. That's also been a problem.
Sometimes that is a problem, and hopefully we can rectify that by Wednesday, because we know they're going to foul. We know we're going to get to the free throw line, and so we did really concentrate on that this morning. And what we try to tell our players, you got to shoot it the right way and shoot it that way every time, and we're pretty inconsistent with that sometimes. We don't extend and hold our follow through on every free throw, and then we wonder why we missed it. and you shouldn't worry about your misses. You should just shoot it the right way every time, and you're going to make a good percentage. So
rhythm.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, all the things that didn't go right, the second half press was absolutely astounding. And I just about came out of my shoes when that big flurry hit, where we had a basket, a steal, another basket, another steal. Your team really appears to be very adept at coming, when it comes to the full court press. And I know you don't want to do that all game because you're going to wear them out too quick. But in the second half, man, oh man, you really got something there.
Yeah, we really feel like we don't have the depth to do that. If we had a rotation, maybe 10 or 11 players, and maybe a little more quickness at some of our positions, maybe we could do that more. But here lately, we've been trying to do it at the beginning of the game on our made free throws, and like I said, we weren't making them. So we didn't get in our press, and so it's kind of a desperation deal at the end of the game. And but I was proud of our players for playing with a lot of energy and making that comeback late in the game.
Well, you had 5 blocks, 8 steals, 17 offensive rebounds. Those are all positives to build on. If I know Misty Wilson, that's what she's doing this week.
Definitely. I think that's a good indicator of how bad you want to win a game, how many offensive rebounds you get. And they're a great offensive rebounding team, and we got 2 more than they did. So that's a positive there for sure.
Big positive for Renee Lawrence, like you mentioned. She double-doubled, 10 points, 10 rebounds. Now, the game before, she had 16 points, 1 rebound. She really wasn't needed for rebounding because she was guarding out on the perimeter against Eastern New Mexico.
Right.
But still, to come back and have that double-double, that's really positive.
It is. And we need Shanae to do that every night because, Kiera can't get every defensive rebound.
No.
Somebody else got to get some rebound, and somebody else got to get some offensive rebounds. And Shanae had 4 offensive rebounds, and Kiera had 4, and Brianna had 2, and Ipaku had 2. So that's the thing we need to do Wednesday, is go the offensive board.
Megan Odell has been shooting the ball very well, but she had a bad shooting night, 0 for 5. And I said, I went up to her and I go, listen, blame me for this one. I'm bad luck here because I helped you warm up. You're out there shooting shots and I was throwing the ball back to you. I'm not going to do that anymore this year.
I appreciate that.
You're very, very, very welcome. This is the Ronnie Hearne Show. It's coming to you live from First Financial Bank on the Loop in Stephenville. Papa John's Pizza in the house. Come on by, get some warm. It's only 18 degrees out there. And have some pizza too. We'll continue after this. And welcome back to the Ronnie Hearne Show, live from First Financial Bank on the Loop in Stephenville. I'm Mike Young, Ronnie Hearne, the head coach of the Texans, sitting right next to us. Papa John's Pizza in the house. It is hot pizza. I know there's a lot of dorm students who will tell you cold pizza rules, but I'm sorry, when it's 18 degrees outside, no, hot. It gets it done today, that's for sure. Hey, if there's one underlying theme this season for the Texans, it's been the Texans can and have fallen behind. And they come up with a big rally in the second half. They really look at things and say, man, we've got to put it in gear and get it going. And it just seems like the bad starts have killed you this year. And then you rally in the second half only to lose really quick. If you have a good start, it seems like you're in the driver's seat.
Well, that helps. That helps for sure, Mike. Get off to a good start. And, you can look back at several games where we didn't get off to a good start. It seemed like especially on the road. The game at Cameron, the game at Texas Woman's, and then that game against Commerce. in the game at WT, in the game at Angelo.
Yeah.
You point back to several losses on the road where we didn't get off the bus ready to play, and fortunately this time we don't have to get off the bus and play because we're going to go down a day early. So we'll kind of be settled into our motel and get our practices in at Allen, and definitely getting off to a good start Wednesday is important.
Well, this will be the 6th time in school history, but the first time as an NCAA institution that Tarleton will end the regular season and open the postseason with the same opponent. The last time this happened back in 1992 when they beat Hearne Simmons in the regular season ender, and then in the opener, the NAIA District 8 playoff opener. And the only time the Texans lost the regular season finale on the road and then started the postseason with a win, that's when they lost at Sul Ross 64-51 and then came back to win 53-51 in the playoff opener. That happened way back in 1986. So it seems like history is on your side. And thank you, Nathan Burrell, for that piece of information.
Yeah, we were just little kids back in '86, weren't we, Mike?
Oh, I know. I was a rock and roll jock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I could hit the golf ball a lot further.
I still can't hit the golf ball.
And but and that shows you how far Tarleton State's come, because you talk about Sul Ross and Hearne Simmons, Division III schools now, and but that's an interesting fact. Nathan's always good at coming up with those
He's
things.
good at that, isn't he?
He's great.
Yeah. So what about these Commerce Lions? Why do they get off such a great start? What needs to be done to make sure that the game on Wednesday doesn't follow the same script on Saturday?
Well, we definitely have to do a better job in our transition defense. We got to do a better job being patient offensively and taking good shots, because hurried shots or bad shots and turnovers usually lead to fast break points. And so we definitely got to do a better job on the offensive end to start with. And then defensively, their on-ball screens, we got to show out early and get up there higher, get over the top of the screen. And then our help side defense has got to be there when the screener rolls to the basket. And, of course, block out and rebound. So just being a lot more solid defensively at the beginning of the game is important.
Well, the final regular season Lone Star Conference standings looks like this: West Texas A&M 15-1. Then the Texans come in number 2 at 10-6. TWU also at number 2 as far as that goes, but by the same token, the tiebreakers send them down to number 3, so they're 10-6. Midwestern State 9-7, Angelo State 7-9, Kingsville 6-10, Commerce 6-10, Cameron 5-11. Eastern New Mexico is on vacation. They did not make the tournament. They were 4-12. So here are the first round matchups coming up in Allen. West Texas plays Cameron. That is a very interesting matchup.
It is. Cameron, of course, beat us both times. I think when they played at Cameron, it was a really close game. It went right down to the last couple of possessions that game. And Cameron's got the quick, athletic guards, a couple of great shooters, some good post players. They play with a lot of energy. So, I'm sure West Texas realizes they got to be ready for that game.
Of course, the Texans do play Commerce. Pregame show at 11:45 Wednesday here on the Mighty 93. So we will talk to you there if you can't make it out to Allen. TWU plays the suddenly hot Kingsville Javelinas. Wow, where did that come from?
I don't know, but they really put it on Angelo Saturday on the trip to Commerce. Coach Wilson was keeping up with it, and I think one time in the first half, Kingsville had a 20-something point lead during the first half. And, Kingsville's a team that they definitely play a lot of energy. They got some good three-point shooters, and they've been playing well lately. And of course, that game was in Kingsville. It's going to be on a neutral court. So it's going to be an interesting game for sure.
Midwestern State plays a very interesting game against Angelo State. I honestly can't call that one. Because Midwestern State has kind of underwhelmed me a little bit this year, while Angelo's been Angelo, so I don't know what to do here.
Yeah, I would say if any team in the conference, in the regular conference season has underachieved, it's Midwestern. They were picked to win the conference. They had everybody back from a team that came close to going to the Elite Eight last year. And so they've underachieved a little bit, but we know they got the players. Mm-hmm. So, and of course, Angelo has a good team, good overall size, good shooters. So that's an interesting matchup, but I definitely have to pick Midwestern in that game.
Of all the teams that come into the tournament, last year it was Commerce who caught fire and produced an upset. I would be a bit surprised to see Kingsville do the same thing because it looks like they've got their act together.
They do, and so that's going to be an interesting matchup like we talked about. And, of course, Commerce had the big upset last year when they beat ACU in the first round. I think it was a 2-point game. And so from top to bottom, there's a lot of good teams in this tournament, and I'm sure everybody feels like we do. Everybody's got a chance to win this tournament.
So there's no Cinderellas here?
I don't think so.
Any shining princes?
And luckily we play before midnight.
Oh, well, I hope so.
Right.
12 noon, yeah, I hope so. Unless we go about 35 overtimes. Going to wear me out before we get to the next round. This is the Ronnie Hearne Show coming to you live from First Financial Bank on the loop in Stephenville. I can't talk at all because of the weather. It's 19 degrees outside. Papa John's Pizza in the house. Come on by and have some lunch on us and get warm at the same time. We continue after this. Back we are at the Ronnie Hearne Show, live from First Financial Bank in Stephenville. Mike Young here with the head coach, and we're not ready to give away things yet, but we're going to do that here in a moment or two. So that's coming. That's coming. We got some stuff to give away as well. And meantime, let me put you on the spot here just for a second here before we do any promotional announcements, which we're always going to do. We know pretty much if I ask you who's your best player, what you're going to say.
Let me think a minute.
Oh, please.
Well, of course, everybody thinks of Kiera Wright, and she's had a tremendous career. First team All-American last year, the MVP of the region. Just she's done everything on the basketball court, and so that's an obvious answer. That's
a slam dunk there. Yeah. All right, who is your grittiest player?
Probably Brianna Bledsoe. She came here as a freshman. Got to play a little bit at the end of the season, got to play more sophomore year, and then, of course, started her junior and senior year. But she's just a tough kid. She'll rebound, she'll take charges, she'll get on the floor. Nothing seems to bother her. Brianna's just a tough kid, plays hard all the time. Whether she got the ball, she doesn't have the ball. She's probably the best player I've ever had moving without the basketball.
Most influential on the team?
Well, probably Shanae Lawrence. She's just a tremendous young lady. She leads the team in prayer, at team meals. She's kind of quiet, but I think all the players listen to her and look up to Shanae.
I think she's the feel-good story of the year, knowing what she came back from last year with the knee injury and everything, and then coming back, especially when she went up to Midwestern State. And all of a sudden, there was Shanae. She was 100% Shanae and had a terrific game.
She did. And Shanae's just a sweet young lady, a great student. If you had a daughter, that's probably who you'd want her to look like.
The best teammate on the squad, who would that be?
Probably Raven McGrath. She's another sweet young lady. Does all the things you'd want her to do on and off the basketball court, and she has a strong Christian faith, and Raven's definitely a keeper.
Best defensive player?
Best defensive player. Well, Kiera was Defensive Player of the Year last year in the Lone Star Conference.
Well, she does everything except sell popcorn, so you can always put her there.
It's definitely Kiera. She's a smart basketball player. She knows where to be defensively. She talks all the time. She's got the quickness and athleticism to play defense. And, when you get a defensive rebound, that's kind of when you finish that possession. And she's a great defensive rebounder. So definitely Kiera, and I hope she gets Defensive Player of the Year again.
I hope she does too. She's earned it. Definitely. Best role player?
Probably Carly Moore. You've seen Carly the last couple of years, and I think she definitely knows her role. And she's another player that's going to be there defensively to help her teammates, to take charges. She's a player that wants to get better, that doesn't mind spending extra time in the gym. And so I'd say Carly Moore.
Of the 3 seniors you're going to lose this year, which one will you hate to lose the most?
All 3 of them.
That wasn't the question.
I know. you know I can't answer that.
All right, let me go this way with it. How about next year? Looking at what you have coming back next year, who are some of the bright lights that we can look at saying, this person's going to take Shanae's role, or try to take Kiara's role, which is going to be pretty tough to do right there, or Brianna's role? Well, what's that looking like?
That'd probably be a good question, Mike, at our last radio show. But, I really like to focus on the now and not think too much about next year. But I think we know Morgan Ashmore is going to be one that's definitely going to have a great season next year. Someone that's really missed right now, and Morgan, Raven, Kathy, Megan Odell, Carly, Paku, Tori. You could go on and on. Mm-hmm. And so there's some really good players that are going to be back next year, and recruiting is a big part of it, and you got to bring in players that are going to be not role players for next year, but players that can come in and be impact players, and definitely when you lose players like Shanae and Kiara, you got to come up with some really strong recruits at the post position for sure.
One more question: who's your best pure shooter?
Best pure shooter. That's probably going to be Brianna. She shoots the ball the way you'd want her to shoot. She's got her elbow in. She follows through. She finishes closer. She's a good, great 3-point shooter. She's got a great mid-range game. She's got that little runner now that she can kind of shoot off of 1 foot. She's really improved that part of her game. So I would definitely say Brianna Bledsoe.
Looking back at last year, I would say like Brianna and Kiara could really help the Texans who weren't in Allen last year, weren't either playing in the tournament or just not on the squad. I think Kathy Thomas might be one that qualifies in that group to say, this is what it's like, this is who you're going to be playing in front of, etc. This is kind of the pressure you're going to feel, like that, kind of like a team leader sort of.
Yeah, definitely the 3 seniors, because they were all on the team when we won the conference tournament, their sophomore year. And all of them were a big part of that. Shanae had a great tournament, and Kiara had 3 good games, and so those 3 seniors should be able to let the other players know what it's like.
As a coach, you can't help but be proud of these kids.
I am, and we just want our season to continue. You never want your season to be over, and especially for your seniors.
As I've said many times before on broadcast, let's see how long the ride will last.
That's right.
This is the Ronnie Hearne Show, coming to you live from First Financial Bank. We've got things to give away, and that's happening next. And welcome back to the Ronnie Hearne Show, live at First Financial Bank. And one thing that you need to know here about the coaches' shows that we have, the Lon Reisman show has been postponed due to the cold weather, the inclement weather, general schedule chaos. You all know about that, Ronnie. Check the Tarleton State website for the next show. It hopefully will be happening next week.
Right.
Things to give away. Go ahead, Coach.
All right. First winner today is Leroy Griffin.
Leroy Griffin.
All right, Leroy.
Come up to the podium, sort of. Well, that's the easel, not the podium. And pick a card, any card.
He's already got a cap.
Well, now he's got a shirt.
All right. Got a T-shirt, Leroy. Next winner is Sammy Winters.
Sammy Winters.
Sammy Winters, you're a winner.
And he got?
All right, got a cap, camouflage.
Yeah, camel cap.
All right. And our last winner is Ken Bailey.
Ken Bailey.
Ken Bailey. Ken, where are you?
He's coming around the corner here.
I think he's the self-proclaimed mayor of Bowman Ridge or Arbon or Lone Oak, one of those 3 communities.
Yeah, well, it's like he'll take the card that says Zonk on it. All right. Well, one more time. What has to happen Wednesday at noon?
All right. First, we got to have a good practice tomorrow when we go to Allen. We got to get a good night's rest tomorrow night. We got to execute the game plan, and if we'll do that, I think we'll be successful on Wednesday.
What time are you leaving from here?
We're going to leave at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Anybody wants to come out west of the field house and send the Texans off and bring the coaches some
Hot chocolate,
cupcakes, hot chocolate, whatever you want to bring the coaches. We don't need to give the players too much to eat, but we'll be leaving at 10 a.m. Then we have a 12:45 practice in the Allen Event Center, and I think it's about a 50-minute practice, and we'll go over to the I think the freshman center there in Allen and finish up our practice.
We were there last year. I remember that. Do you remember that? Well, that's a great idea. Just a rally send-off tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on the west side of the field house.
Right.
Yeah, so if you come out there, send the Texans off, I know they'd appreciate it. And also, if they do win Wednesday, then they will play Friday at noon. That'd be the next game against the winner of Texas Women's University and Kingsville. So we can all just hope for the best. Coach,
all right,
let's take it as far as we can.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
This has been the Ronnie Hearne Show, live from First Financial Bank. Once again, 11:45 Wednesday. That's the pregame time here on the Mighty 93. So if you can't come up to Allen, have your radio on. We'll talk to you then.